Superman just got a rival with his very own letter stamped on his chest. A villain turned into a giant mecha robot, and there was a future Green Lantern hidden in the audience that almost nobody noticed. Stick around until the end. After the explosive Season 3 premiere, with Project Caliban exposed and the Bizarro clone loose in the world trying to be a hero on his own, Episode 2, Mobile Suit Toyman, picks up right where we left off. Lex Luthor's thirst for revenge is growing, with Slade Wilson by his side, both sharpening a specific blade to neutralize Kryptonians once and for all. And here, finally, Lex's complete plan comes to light. But before the main bombshell, the episode handles a much more personal drama, Supergirl's heart. Kara harbors a long-standing crush on Jimmy, and guess what? The feeling is mutual. But Jimmy is too shy to admit it, even using the excuse that he wants her to explore her newly won freedom after destroying Brainiac's core alongside Clark. This tension boils over when Clark, Jimmy, and Lois attend a comic convention where Supergirl is the guest of honor. Kara is on cloud 9. The opening sequence shows exactly why. She's having a blast catching bank robbers, stopping street thieves, and even rescues a child from a driver distracted by their phone, lifting the car in a pose that directly pays homage to the iconic cover of Action Comics #1 from 1938. It's her ideal destiny, and you can feel it in every single frame. Except Jimmy thinks she should be taking in this moment all by herself, without tying herself down to anyone. So when Lois tries to play matchmaker between them, he dodges it. He doesn't want to make it easy. He says he's not ready for a relationship and doesn't want to risk an important friendship. But there's another motive behind this, and it's far less noble than it seems. Jimmy is way too focused on his own brand, the Flamebird project, which involves social media, live streams, and even a signature watch he hands out to the team to use in emergencies when they need to call Superman. On top of that, Jimmy also has an action-packed comics imprint where he wants to put out the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen line in a clear attempt to monetize everything after spending his own trust fund to help Clark in the past. By the way, fun fact for comic history buffs, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen was a very real, legendary DC series that originally debuted in 1954. Aside from being famous for its wildly bizarre Silver Age plots, like Jimmy turning into a giant turtle boy, this book holds massive historical importance. It was actually the launchpad for Jack Kirby's epic Fourth World Saga in 1970. Kirby took over the title and used Jimmy's adventures to introduce iconic elements like Darkseid, Intergang, the New Gods, and the DNA Project, which later became Project Cadmus. So the show paying homage to this specific title is a huge nod to DC's foundation. Lois is furious when she finds out these comics portray her as a villain, because, according to Jimmy, stories about exes becoming enemies sell better. Convenient, right? And the most ironic detail is that these very stories leave far too obvious clues that Superman and Lois are a real-life couple. Let's be honest here. With Supergirl walking around in uniform with the team all the time, any somewhat observant citizen of Metropolis would have figured out Kara and Clark's secret identities a long time ago. The show is clearly playing with this irony on purpose. I wonder when this will come to light, especially since the whole secret identity thing with Superman is always up for debate. Some think it's interesting to have, while others feel it just doesn't hold up nowadays. Back at the convention, Kara is innocent and playful, even asking to be called Power Woman, in a direct nod to Power Girl from DC Comics. Her life is good. Her career is taking off. But there's one thing she can't cast aside: her romantic feelings for Jimmy. And this is where she musters up her courage. Kara confesses the truth directly to him, making it clear she wants his affection in return. Jimmy, true to his usual pattern of denial, turns down the chance to be her partner. Even with Kara wanting to build something similar to what Lois and Clark have, he insists they just stay friends. And you can feel that part of him hopes a hurt Supergirl won't decide to look for true love somewhere else. It's a moment that mixes comedy and soap opera drama with a lot of self-awareness. And it works precisely because the show doesn't try to hide the irony of the situation. But Kara won't be alone for long, because the convention has one more twist in store, and it comes in the form of a journalist who loves a good scandal. Cat Grant shows up at the event, taunting Lois and Jimmy, always hunting for a controversial headline for the Daily Planet, even if she has to step over her own colleagues to get it. She sees the perfect story in Kara, especially after noticing the tension between Supergirl and Jimmy. So she sets up a panel and starts asking far too invasive questions about the heroine's love life and personal life. Cat forces Kara to explain what sets her apart from Superman, especially considering there's still a cynical and paranoid portion of Metropolis. It's an uncomfortable moment to watch, until a kid in the audience grabs the microphone and completely changes the tone of the scene. The girl, described by Cat herself as regrettably shy, says that Supergirl is an inspiring warrior. Superman protects people, but Supergirl fights for them. She wants to be brave like Kara one day. And when she lets go of the mic, she reveals her own name, Jessica Cruz.
For those who follow the comics, this name is massive. Jessica Cruz is an intense, multi-layered Green Lantern in the comics, and Clark already faced a Green Lantern manifestation inside Brainiac's ship back in Season 2. She doesn't display her powers here yet, but her voice actress, Ali'i Cravalho from Moana, is already confirmed to voice Jessica Cruz in the spin-off My Adventures with Green Lantern, which doesn't have a release date yet. And speaking of Easter eggs at the convention, there was another one that was super quick but impossible to ignore. In a brief moment, you can spot a group of cosplayers dressed up as the Teen Titans, specifically Beast Boy, Starfire, and Raven. Now, the big question is, was this just a fun visual nod, or do the Teen Titans actually exist in this universe? Because if the Titans are around, at the very least, other major heroes like Batman must exist out there too. Are they planning to expand this universe even further? I really hope so. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know down below, do you want to see this universe expand to include other heroes besides Superman and Green Lantern? And if you got hyped about this Jessica Cruz appearance and want to check out her comic book origin story, which is one of the most emotional in DC, I've left the link to the Green Lantern Jessica Cruz comic and other essential Superman sagas right down in the description and in the pinned comment, or on the product shelf popping up right down here on your screen. By buying through our Amazon links, or even grabbing the items here on the YouTube shopping shelf, you help Comic Chronicles keep making these detailed breakdowns, and you also get to add some insane art to your shelf. It's one of those Easter eggs that completely changes how you watch the rest of the scene. Did you enjoy this Easter egg? Kara's confidence skyrockets after those words, and she decides to seize the moment by opening up a space at her own booth to welcome suitors. After all, she's always been upfront about wanting to find someone, so why not take advantage of the visibility? Sucks for you, Jimmy. You blew it. An entire line forms. There's an emo rocker, a mime, and even a muscular guy who coincidentally looks a lot like Jimmy. That was funny. Everyone wants a piece of Supergirl's attention, and Jimmy is visibly uncomfortable watching it happen, which Cat Grant, of course, notices and doesn't let slide. Jimmy is realizing in the worst way possible that he's losing that version of Kara who was totally devoted to him, the girl who brought him hot dogs and binge-watched shows without question. And the most bizarre part? He brought this on himself. Professionally, Kara is flourishing, becoming a confident heroine who embraces the public's affection. As for Jimmy, well, he's acting like a textbook relationship villain. He pushed Kara toward independence using a noble speech about freedom, but deep down, it feels like he just wanted to control the narrative.
Now that she's no longer just an accessory for his Flamebird project, Jimmy's ego has deflated. He thinks going back to being just Superman's pal is a demotion, which reveals a pretty selfish side. He wants to monetize Clark and Kara's image, but he can't stand seeing Kara shine on a stage where he isn't the director. It's that classic irony. Superman's best friend is acting like the hero of his own story, but behaving like the villain of hers. What do you think about his attitude? Drop a comment, because Jimmy is skating on thin ice with cancellation this season. But while this emotional drama unfolds at the convention, Clark has to rush off in uniform because there's another bank robbery underway. Only this time, it's no walk in the park.
The goons are under the command of a villain named Whip, equipped with a whip powered by a Kryptonite battery. She manages to lash, bind, and even choke Superman with ease. The most disturbing detail is that this Kryptonite was harvested from residue scattered across the city from the Suicide Squad's previous battles, and there's a comedic touch to this whole fight. She's obsessed with Superman, but can't comprehend why he fights crime for free. Not much different from Heath Ledger's Joker, she believes that if you're good at something, you should never do it for free. Entrepreneurial spirit right there. Her battery runs out right in the nick of time, allowing Superman to round up the whole gang and fly straight back to the convention, where a much bigger problem is brewing. Lois can't hide her rage upon seeing Winslow Schott, the Toyman, selling teddy bears at the event as if nothing happened. She's furious because he's walking free after nearly hurting her and Clark in an incident indirectly caused by Sam Lane back when he still hated Superman.
In a panic, she confronts Toyman and even rips open a child's teddy bear, thinking it's a bomb. However, it was just an ordinary plush toy, leaving Lois looking like the crazy villain from Jimmy's comics. When Clark returns, he buys another bear for the kid and tries to calm Lois down. But she uses her sharp reporter's eye and notices rockets, weapons, and artillery pieces hidden inside Winslow's booth. So Lois decides to play a psychological game. She calls Toyman harmless, washed up, a back-alley criminal watchmaker at the end of his career, saying he was never a real threat. It's exactly the kind of bait that triggers his narcissistic ego. And Toyman falls right into the trap, transforming his own booth into a giant robot, with visual nods blending Mobile Suit Gundam, Voltron, Power Rangers, and Robotech. Superman and Supergirl brace for the fight, but someone flies in and punches Toyman's robot right out of the building before they can even make a move. A bird? A plane? Another Superman? And here is the moment the season premiere had already promised: the shattered body of Hank Henshaw, transformed by Lex into Cyborg Superman. Hank was an Air Force captain, shot down while fighting Brainiac's forces, until Lex offered him a second lease on life. Now he wears a suit that resembles Superman's own, but with a disturbing detail. Instead of the House of L crest, he sports an emblem with the letter L, making it clear that this is a creation and intellectual property of Lex, defiling the original symbol. Hank knocks out Toyman's robot and taunts, while Lex brings in the press to capture everything, echoing the PR scheme Lex put together with Slade and Waller in Season 2 to try and prove Superman was a violent threat. Except this time, a more seasoned Lex plays the political game with much more intelligence, marketing Cyborg Superman as the aggressive solution for when Superman is too slow or can't be trusted. Hank, intimidating and with glowing red eyes, taunts Lois directly, promising to take humanity's future back from the aliens. Later, Lex and Slade place Hank back in stasis in the lab, and Lex looks genuinely proud of his own creation. Hank, for his part, is eager to show the planet that he doesn't need to rely on Kryptonians. In his mind, there's only one possible outcome. He's going to save everyone.
Check out this design for Hank Henshaw. If you thought this version of Cyborg Superman was more intimidating than the original, smash that like button right now. And if you're new here and don't want to miss a single breakdown from Season 3, subscribe to the channel. We dissect every detail so you don't miss a thing in this new DC universe. This high-profile Hank leaves a lasting impact. Kara believes this proves Lex is afraid of her after what he witnessed during Brainiac's takeover, and Superman tries to reassure her, saying that people will stand by them. But you can feel that Supergirl remains tense, worried that the previously stagnant LexCorp is regressing the collective mindset of Earth. And there's a quick detail that almost goes unnoticed. Bizarro was also at the convention, dressed up as Superman, but fled as soon as Cyborg Superman showed up. He was afraid of exposing himself, and considering that seeing a corrupted Superman could deeply mess with his head, his panic makes sense, especially while trying to help a planet that still fears his idol. Will Bizarro try to face off against Cyborg Superman to prove he's the real hero? The episode wraps up making it clear that Hank's journey is going to be relentless. He used to have a crush on Lois too, which makes this confrontation far more personal than it seems at first glance. It remains to be seen if Lex can truly control this creation, because nobody wants to be anyone's slave, not even a cyborg.
there was a real possibility that Lex has accidentally created the exact monster he was trying to prevent. And this is going to be a brutal test for the L's, Lex, and Deathstroke, as this new Superman defiles the symbol that is supposed to represent hope.
Did Lex create a monster or a savior? The debate continues in the comments. And let me know if you've already picked up on the signs that Jessica Cruz is going to play a bigger role this season. And if you want to understand how we got here, click right now on this video about Project Caliban and Bizarro appearing on your screen. It is essential for you to understand what Lex is hiding in the LexCorp labs. I'll see you there.